but this is, I wanted to bring it around to the fact that because there's so much like my connection to you is the self-abuse. I mean, you can't stop. Like you just you have a potato in one hand and a potato peeler in the other, and before you ever come around to peeling the potato, you'll be like fucking like you will be fully peeled yourself. But
when people go, Fred, you've been on every sitcom of the 90s, not News Radio, not Frasier, and I got to correct them.
And all of that, but it's like that's the thing is like I don't even know if it's possible for you to become a douchebag because of that, because you're going to be one of those you said in the beginning, I thought it was so interesting, you didn't overcompensate. We know that breed. That's a dangerous breed. That's 85% of like people who like, the world yes. Comedically, like guys who were nerds and then they go, well, but I was funny, and then they got that stick that says they were funny, and then they start using it in a way that they wouldn't have if they didn't have that stick. So it's like, it's a weird thing, but it's like, well, if you're fucking a victim and someone gives you the power because of they like watching you be a victim, it's hard. And your voice, you've always had that voice. You've always been that guy for real, and people have always been drawn to it. And some people are even drawn to abuse you. And
because yes, Norm Macdonald when I opened for him, and let's not go there. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're booing me for saying something they don't know. You know, that didn't happen, Fred. No, like a guy like Dom
Even
Herrera,
they want to fucking abuse you right now. It's just
like a guy like Dom Herrera, no one's going to bully him because I think I see. There's a guy. I'll tell you later, but I don't want to turn on this crowd. Why don't you do that, Fred? They're sweating. Why not have them? No. See, I grew up. There was no such thing as nerds. There were Nebbishes, sad sacks. Nerds are like cool. And it's like, you know, now there's a lot of comedians now. There's Schlubby, and, you know, this guy, good guy, Matt Myra, you know who he is?
Yeah.
Heavy guy. He's a great guy, but if he was during the 80s, hey, I'm a schlub. But it's like, hey, yeah, you're not a loser. Hey, you know, so it's this pop culture. You know, I'm like being a nerdist referencing Matt Myra. But, you know, but yeah, it's like when I did stand-up, there was no thought that I want to do it to be cool. Furthest thing. It's embarrassing being cool. So now it's sort of like the old nerds that were picked on. Someone said the nerds now are like the bullies. You know, I remember back in the 90s when this was starting, Bobcat Goldthwait, I'm stealing his line, all these like Largo people, he goes, they're all so cool, they cancel each other out. And so so nerd became cool, and I resent that.
Well,
and
and you should. And then there's like Andy Kindler, who is awesome at moving with that resentment, and maybe that's not your essence. Like no. maybe.
But Kindler, I have a problem with.
Shots fired.
I have a problem with him. I already went on Mark Maron, did 5 minutes why he bothers me. No, he's a great guy. He's hysterical. But he would do these alternative rooms, and it's like, I'm nervous. It's like an old Jewish guy. Why is this alternative? You know, it's like, there's a guy, Bruce Smirnoff, who's like a Jewish guy. It's very guns and knives. Yes, and so Kindler, why was this heralded as this alternative guy, this rebel who is the biggest schmoozer? Oh, God. Oh, no, he's a great guy. No, I already teased him about this. But you know what I'm saying? You know what it is? My mother once said, I don't like pushy, nervy people because I resent them. I wish I could be pushy and nervy. So I resent Kindler because he could schmooze. He's good at it.
I resent everybody because I wish I had their abilities sometimes. I mean, how many times have you been cut off in traffic and there's some small part of you that's like, God damn it, that person's winning at life. I've never cut anyone off in traffic, which means that I have spent so much more of my life in fucking anxiety and thinking about other people than I needed to. Because that person clearly never thinks about fucking anything and had that time for Pokemon or something.
Yes.
I don't, it's never I just want to... I want to make sure you understand, and I think you do.
I do. I don't feel bad for me. I'm happy because I could never survive in a writer's room.
But let's forget about feeling bad. Forget about pity and bad and feeling bad and all that stuff. And just like I want you to know, like, how prudent it is, how strategically justified it is for you to stay who you are, because it ends up paying more.
Big money.
It ends up paying more whether you have to.
Well, it's just about what you can live with. And no, I consider, it took me, when I was younger, it was more like comparing myself. Why aren't I this? But it's really so liberating when you get older, when you're out of the games of women, and, trying to meet women and trying to get pilot season. When it's sort of over, now I could do what I like to do. I'm too old a guy to be pitching, my own show. And it's so liberating because you just...
Well, first of all, that doesn't make any sense to me at all. As I told you when I saw you upstairs, I was dreading seeing you because I haven't seen you in 3 years. And everyone that I haven't seen in 3 years is going to make me feel like I'm 90 years older because we're all melting at a parabolic rate. So I was like, I was telling my girlfriend about you and like, oh, I'm gonna see Fred and he's amazing, and she knew who you were by reputation and stuff like that. Reputation? What the fuck does that mean? I have a reputation with a girl you talk to? What the fuck are you holding out on me for? But no, I was talking to her about you, and I was like, he's Fred Stoller. And I was doing my impression of you because you're fun to do an impression of. I'm sure that makes you very happy.
Especially when Tom Kenny gets extra money in voiceovers.
And then I stopped in the middle. And I got really scared because I was like, Fred, you could draw on a cave wall even if you hadn't gone to art school, like inside and out. Fred is so specific and so archetypal and so pure, and now I'm gonna see him, and there's gonna be something is gonna spoil that for me.
It look like Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah, you're gonna like it'd be like something that was equally beautiful, but if I'd known you for 20 years as the other thing, I'd be like, oh, fucking time can suck my god balls, whatever. But you,
still,
like I sound like Billy Crystal doing that Fernando Lamas character or whatever. But the idea that you look good and that's supposed to make you feel good. I'm saying why would you not be pitching your
I've tried
original shows at Netflix and things?
I'm the weird older guy. I'm not.
That's the point. It's point of view now. You're not. The game is not to make 350 million people go, oh, I get it. What is that?
I had an idea for a web series. They like the idea. Let's do it. A web series. They go, can you get some YouTube stars? Like, who do you know? Anytime I've tried, like, who do you know that's more famous than you that will sell this? Who are your friends? Can you bother Fred Willard again? No more bothering Fred Willard. I always bother him.
I remember you used to call me on the phone when we there were still landlines, and I was trying to write Monster House, and for some reason I was doing a lot of cocaine, and I think it was because I just found out how easy it was to buy in LA, and it was so hard in Milwaukee, and I was like, I don't even like coke, but now it's so cheap, like. And so I just had like the CD case. There was these things called CDs. You turned them and listened to them with a laser needle, and it was covered with like coke residue. And then I'd be trying to figure out why a house would be a monster, and then the phone would ring, and you'd be calling me because we had just made friends, and you were like. The idea that I was the paragon of confidence for you says a lot. Like, because you're like calling me for advice. I'm like, what is this motherfucker? Like, you're like, listen, have you ever tried? Like, what do you do when you park in a grocery store? Like do you look for the? Because I've been driving. I went to the store today, and I just drove away. I couldn't handle the pressure anymore. I'm like, you couldn't handle the pressure of parking at a grocery store. And you called me.
No, you intimidated me because the last few times I bumped into you were really like angry, Dan. I mean, intimidating.
Oh, so wait, no. Larry David. No, I don't.
No. You were nice to me, but like there were these stupid nature half moon walks, the full moon.
Oh, that's right.
And you went, I'm just here to fucking get laid, and like.
I was in a bad place.
Yes.
It sounds like it.
I'm fucking this bitch. And I went, all right.
I didn't say bitch. Please
don't do that. But that helped a little bit. That helped to laugh a little bit.
Did I say? I didn't.
No, but you were so brazen. It was a very attractive.
I would have said I'm gonna have sex with this girl.
You were a very
that was the mode
girl,
I was in.
I won't say in front of her. I bumped into her since. and I was so jealous. She was sweet, and you said, I'm just here to fucking get laid. I don't think you said fuck, but you said to get laid. Fuck all this, this nature bullshit. But no, you're great. But
I was in a phase at that time
but you
where
were acting
I was
like
doing
the
this.
asshole, and you were getting laid.
There was a girl that had told me,
that.
and this is not negging. Like this isn't that red pill shit. Like I had come into my own as I had come out of a relationship where I was like, I can't remember what this was in between. Where I was like, the justification in my head was for about a year, I was a pig. But not like, I don't think I was abusive.
No,
I was a pig. One woman said to me, which I will always remember because I thought it actually summed up exactly what I was doing, and she was a customer that was explaining, oh, this is why I stopped and bought this fucking soup that made me sick. And so I was like, oh, that's what's on the label. She said, like, I spent so much energy trying to catch guys and their red flags, and you wave yours like a matador.
Yes.
And that's what it was, and it wasn't. But
you were
that's
intimidated.
not. I want the kids to know. I want these millennials to know. First of all, I said that was a year, and I look back, and I almost killed myself, and I was miserable. I almost burnt my apartment down. It was a bad time. I'm also not saying don't ever do that. Do it. Go for it. But that is not the same as this, because these are weird fucking times, and that shit is kissing cousins with some ideologies that have to do with hurting other people in order to like get reverse psychology. This is the baseline is total id, and that's if you meet somebody at a party that just says, "I'm very lonely. Would you like to make out later?" Like that's that guy can have a reasonable time, because then you're playing Moneyball with statistics, and that I resent the fact that bleeds into this other camp that's about like taking it back from women who never took it away. Like that's the thing. That's why I want to like put a big fucking fat asterisk on that. But I was going through that phase where I was like, I was just going on dates a lot because I felt like I had done that wrong for the first part of my life. So every girl I talked to that I was attracted to, I was like trying to be in this zone where I'd be like, I'm very attracted to you. I would try not to be, like snow plow them, but but I got a lot of like fucking humiliating like eye rolls and like walk away. Like really, you'd say that to me? But I'd be like, I'm very attracted to you, and I'd like to make out with you later.
Now that you don't need those lines anymore, can we hear one of them? Or I'm kidding.
No, you intimidated me at the Super Bowl parties. Does Joel Hodgson thing?
I guess that's just everybody in there. I was in my
That's
my
some
late
people
20s.
for 15 years of their life. Some people die at 65 years old staying that way.
You hear the humanity in him talking about Trump and all this stuff. I mean, that's why I wasn't as intimidated, Right.